Before this becomes a rose, it must first become ash, oyster shells, burned in open flame, until nothing familiar remains. It doesn't look like the beginning of something beautiful. One generation to the next, the shells are crushed, then sifted again and again, until only the finest powder remains. Why so carefully? Because every grain must dissolve evenly. Anything coarse would remain behind, changing the texture of the finished soap. The powder is stirred into boiling water, creating the alkaline solution used in this traditional soap-making process. Then it is filtered through cloth, pressed gently by hand, until only a clean, refined liquid remains. More powder is added, the jar is covered, and the transformation quietly continues. Without this foundation, nothing that follows would be possible. While the alkaline solution rests, the mountain herbs take their turn. First, they're broken down with a heavy wooden mallet. Then they're ground even finer through a traditional stone mill. Why 2 steps? Because every stage helps release more of the herb's natural character. The final powder is sifted one last time, soft, fragrant, and ready for the next part of the journey. Now the herbs meet warm oil inside a brass pan. As the herbs warm in the oil, the transformation happens gradually. The color begins to deepen, and the aroma slowly moves from the herbs into the oil itself. This gentle infusion cannot be hurried. A slow, steady temperature allows the oil to absorb their fragrance and natural qualities over time. Once ready, the warm infusion is poured through cloth, then gently pressed by hand, capturing every precious drop. Nothing wasted, nothing rushed. This is the moment every previous step has been preparing for. Slowly, 2 very different mixtures begin to work together. At first, they resist. With steady stirring, the texture changes almost imperceptibly. Now everything comes together. The herbal oil, a second nourishing oil, and the carefully prepared alkaline solution, added slowly, mixed patiently, stirred by hand until the liquid begins to change. Little by little, it thickens into a smooth, creamy emulsion. This is the moment where separate ingredients become something entirely new. The finished mixture is carefully poured into wooden molds carved with delicate rose petals. Then, there is only one thing left to do. Wait. When the mold is finally opened, the roses appear, formed from little more than shells, herbs, oil, and time. Every rose in this mold began as something unrecognizable: burnt shell, ground herbs, warm oil. None of it was hurried, none of it was accidental. Some traditions survived, not because they were the easiest, but because generations believed they were worth preserving. Perhaps the rose was never the true masterpiece. Perhaps it was everything that happened before it: the fire, the ash, the patience, the hands that refused to rush. Would you recognize this as soap if you had never seen its story? This is our hearth. This is our heritage.